Good afternoon and welcome to the Midday News. Here's what we have in the bulletin. No by-election for Seabright Gardens Division on September 3. Not backing down, teachers stand firm as they press for better wage. And later in sports, defending champions Cavalier and Mount Pleasant FA will begin their campaign in the CONCACAF Caribbean Cup this evening. Thank you for joining us. I'm Kerry-Ann Simpson. Here are the details. Up first this afternoon, the Jamaica Constabulary Force is confirming that one of 9 men who escaped from the Constant Spring lockup in St. Andrew has been captured. He is 45-year-old David Roden of Kingston. 9 inmates escaped on Tuesday by cutting through a metal grill and bar. Those at large are 19-year-old Alonzo Espute of Cassava Peace, 27-year-old Brandon Ennis of Belvedere in Red Hills, 23-year-old Talik Chambers of Burlington Avenue in Kingston 10, 25-year-old Doric Douglas of Upper Oxford Street in Kingston, 18-year-old Frey Messias of Pinto in Stony Hill, St. Andrew, 19-year-old Richard Bishop of Olympic Way in Kingston, 31-year-old Junior Anthony Barnes of Iron River in Golden Spring, 25-year-old Kamal Kelly of Mannings Hill District in Stony Hill, St. Andrew. Now, the fugitives are facing charges including murder, rape, shooting with intent and burglary. Police have launched an island-wide manhunt for the men and are appealing for the public's help. The JCF is also warning that harboring fugitives is a crime. To news now in politics, Prime Minister Dr Andrew Holness has confirmed that the by-election for the Seabright Gardens Division announced for September 3 will not be held that day. Mayor of Kingston Andrew Swaby had complained that the proper procedure for scheduling the by-election was not followed. These include the notice of resignation, publication of the notice in the daily newspapers, and a consultation between the chairman of the municipal corporation and the chief electoral officer. Dr. Holness addressed the issue yesterday following his nomination in the St. Andrew West Central constituency.
We have nominated and we did not nominate. Not that we didn't field one. There was no nomination or elections. Just to be clear, the law gives the authority to call a by-election when there is a vacancy. To the mayor was not so minded. So we could not call a by-election for the Seabright Gardens Division.
We continue to look back at nomination day yesterday. Over in Northeast St. Elizabeth, it was shaping up to be a competitive race. Shamila Pullen reports. A militant Heroy Clark of the Jamaica Labour Party surrounded by supporters as they marched toward Montego Bay preparatory to be nominated. The incumbent MP said he and his team are ready to secure a third term for the ruling Jamaica Labour Party and to retain the seat.
To tell you the truth, I am 100% confident, knowing very well that my team has put in the work that we are asked to do. And so we continue even then to do more work because we know exactly what is up and what we are against. And therefore we are not taking anything for granted.
And walking in her father's footsteps, a confident Janice Allen, riding on the PNP's ticket, says she is energized to get the work done.
The work that we are seeing in the next 16 days will take us across the finish line first and cause me to be the new member of Parliament for St. James Central.
And we do apologize for the incorrect insert. We now go back to the previous story where we continue to look back on nomination day yesterday. Now, over in Northeast St. Elizabeth, it is shaping up to be a competitive race. Here's Shamila Pullen.
Delroy slowly created a major upset in the 2020 elections after he defeated the PNP's Basil Waite in Northeast St. Elizabeth, a constituency widely considered a PNP safe seat. He's back on the ballot and JLP supporters believe he deserves a second term.
I definitely know that JLP will take home the winning for the next election. I have all confidence, right? Not only just by word of talk, we have the action man. He's doing all the work, going around and ensure that we get the road, water, he look out. And he's not just only look out for the JLP, he also look out for other persons who are in need. So therefore, I can always say that Mr. Solly, the action man, will take it home for Northeast St. Elizabeth.
Well, as far as the JLP going for the third term, they're looking good. And we believe Northeast, we're going to carry home Northeast. Right now, we're taking home Northeast by the 4 seat at Northeast gone to the Jamaica Labour Party. So, and they'll rise slowly. It's a hard-working man. Whenever time you call to Delrise slowly, it still is there for you.
But the People's National Party's candidate Zulika Jess is hoping to put the constituency back in the PNP column.
This represents a culmination of several years of hard work, several years of walking the entire length and breadth of the constituency, several years of knocking on doors, of listening to the concerns, the issues of the people of Northeastern St. Elizabeth. And now we are just days away from actually being placed in a position where we can fix the problems that face this constituency. So it's a very, very emotional time for us.
President of the United Independent Congress Jamaica Party, Joseph Patterson, is also eyeing the seat.
Well, it's a very difficult situation because we have not really been in the media throughout the course of the year, no fault of ours. So the people don't get to know us as much as they should know us. But in any event, we're hoping for the people to understand that it's time for them to do something different. Doing the same thing over and over and getting the same result is not a very good way to develop as a nation.
Shamela Pullen, TVJ News.
It is time for a break. Stay with us. More stories when we return. Welcome back to the Midday News. Traffic came to a halt in one St. Mary constituency Monday, even as supporters of the two main political parties danced and celebrated together over their respective candidates. Krista Campbell reports.
Reveling in the road, bringing traffic to a crawl in some instances, and stopping it altogether in other places. This was St. Mary Western on Nomination Day 2025. Besides the distinct party colours, there was no cloud of disunity hanging over the Gale Square as both parties partied together in the heart of what was traditionally a JLP stronghold. For 23 years, the JLP held the reign in the Gale division at the local government level, but in last year's February 26 election, the PNP wrested power. Still, both sides seem equally positive of a victory in the September 3, 2025 general elections. Admittedly, the JLP's two-term Member of Parliament Robert Montague says he has unfinished work like a water project in Gale.
We have the urban centre down in Boscobel to complete, where I promise 2,000 jobs will be made available to the citizens of St. Mary. We have 1,000 houses on the drawing board, 400 housing solutions in Galena. We have 100 in Decoy, another 100 in Jeffreytown, 100 in Industry Pen, 100 at Eden Park, and we are about to complete some discussions with a landowner who has a 200-unit approval in Hamilton Mountain.
He pointed to several housing projects already started at the Ian Fleming International Airport in Boscobel. But for his PNP opponent, Omar Woodbine, he will bring development to the constituency, which he says has been lacking under Mr. Montague leadership.
No more 9 years with bad roads, no more 9 years without agriculture development, no more 9 years without the youths being employed, new management, new type of leadership.
But for United Independent Congress UIC candidate Chase Neal, Jamaica's growth has stymied under JLP and PNP government. While noting mixed reactions from residents about a third party winning the constituency, Mr. Neal says he's received a lot of support.
People are afraid of representing publicly, although they come and give their support privately. How that will play out on election day, that is yet to be seen. But I do hope that the people stand for themselves and not for the elites who don't have their interests at heart.
Anthony Atkinson, TVJ News.
The Jamaica Teachers Association annual conference got underway at the Princess Resorts in Hanover yesterday, with the teachers remaining firm on their decision to press the government for an improved wage offer. Details in this report.
The JTA conference is happening at a time when the government and the union has reached a stalemate in the wage negotiations.
I said, you know, we get poor grades last year. The teachers not doing anything. This year, then all of a sudden, teachers are amazing. It's the same teachers we had last year, no, that are doing it. And oftentimes we go into our pocket to buy the marker to write on the board. Good God, teachers. Do I hear an amen on that one? We buy the paper for them to use, colleagues. We are subsidizing the education system, and that ought not to happen.
Day one of the event saw a changing of the guard. The outgoing president, Mark Smith, addressed the conference for the last time in the role.
And it means playing our part in engaging with new and emerging technologies such as artificial intelligence, the smart classrooms, data-driven technologies and instructions, and all those futuristic concepts. But it cannot happen when we don't have internet in the schools. These things cannot be achieved when we're still in classrooms that look identical to the classroom that the parents of the children. It looked almost identical to the classroom that the parents sat in. And if you are not careful, even the grandparents and great-grandparents. So we talk about the transformation, but it requires...
He lamented the global shortage of teachers, which he argues should motivate the government to act. He further contends that teachers are more than deserving of a salary increase. It's unclear when the wage negotiations will resume. Shamela Pullen, TVJ News.
Thank you, Shamela. It is now time for the Business Minute. Epley Caribbean Property Fund is reporting net operating income of $8.6 million Barbados dollars during the 9-month period ended June 30 this year. This in comparison to $7.7 million Barbados dollars during the similar period last year. Chairman of the company, Nicholas Scott, says the company's board met recently and approved a dividend which will be payable on September 15. Further afield, Air Canada and the union representing flight attendants have come to a tentative agreement, ending a days-long strike that cancelled thousands of flights and stranded passengers. Around 10,000 flight attendants have been on strike since Saturday. They were demanding higher wages and to be paid when planes are grounded. Air Canada had offered a 38% increase in pay over 4 years and an hourly raise of between 12 and 16% in the first year of the contract. There is no word yet on the details of the final agreement, but union members will need to vote on it to make it permanent. If they vote it down, the strike could resume. And that's it for the Business Minute. Time now for the top regional and international stories.
In the region, Prime Minister Kamala Bessard-Bissesa is challenging the opposition People's National Movement to stage its own Independence Day parade, stressing that her government has not restricted the right to free movement on August 31. At an opposition media briefing, Penelope Beckles renewed her call for a scaled-down Independence Day event in the interest of patriotism and for small businesses that depend on the day for earnings. Beckles also again questioned why the Prime Minister has not personally addressed the nation on the decision to replace the military parade with a day of prayer and reflection. On the international scene, Air Canada and the union representing flight attendants have come to a tentative agreement, ending a days-long strike that cancelled thousands of flights and stranded passengers. They were demanding higher wages and to be paid when planes are grounded. Air Canada had offered a 38% increase in pay over 4 years and an hourly raise of between 12 and 16% in the first year of the contract. And those were the top regional and international stories. I'm Anthony Atkinson.
And we head to a quick break, but when we come back, we'll have your midday sports report.